Second Ezra 8:50. For many great misery should be done to them that in the latter times should dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. We'll start off by saying all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim Bakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS, teaching this truth. Shalom to you, Akim, that's believing in this truth and pushing this truth through the four winds. Say to you, Shalom to the hopeful elect, the 144,000 men out there. And Shalom to you, very few Akwar that's listening and learning and submitting yourself to your Lord, which is your husband. This is your brother Ahmad out of Jacksonville, Florida, coming back, Lord willing, with an I titled this one, People Going to Be Acting Animalistic, hashtag repent, and then I put we shall see. So we're going to jump right into it because, hey, these people are in for a rude awakening, and, like I said, from the video that I'm about to put up on the screen, we'll see. But, hey, these people are going to be in for a rude awakening, man. Because they keep talking about this April 8th thing. And so I'm going to go to the guy who I like watching, but I'm going to just play what he posted up today. So, Lord willing, this is edifying. We'll just jump right into it. And this is from JWTV. Your brothers and sisters can subscribe to his channel. He's pretty much an insider. He's plugged in, But anyway, let's jump right into it.
Back here live with you because we have gotten in our second call from our source, the sheriff that's been our source for at least over 6 months out on the public, but behind scenes we've been talking longer than that. Now we've got the other details inside of the Homeland Security meeting that he went to, and we're really about to break down some stuff, and we also need to think about a defense plan. So this is going to be very important. We're going to have all that in here for you. And the first video I told you, anti-government was a target list. Anti-vaccine, preppers, Trump supporters. That was the target list they initiated inside of the meeting. Now this next part, when I asked him more about the biological scenario, I said, so is there any other things that they said in this meeting, day two? Day two, he said, I have my notes here because, again, I have to write down what he says, obviously, for purposes of sensitivity. He said the day after the eclipse, people might be acting animalistic is what they said inside of the Homeland Security meeting. Hence, we get back to the biological attack. He said they might have to get medical attention if people start acting animalistic. So the behavior we're looking for is people acting animalistic post them dispersing whatever the biological scenario is. What's going on, everybody in the chat? I see you here. I'm so glad you got out that last video. This one's going to be just as importantly critical, because we got more stuff he talked about. That's strange though. Acting animalistic, he also said it could be to do with the biological event, or it could be drugs, but I'm thinking that is part of the biological event. Now, what else he said? He said that during the solar eclipse, they also said in this Homeland Security meeting, and by the way, this is the meeting I'm talking about right here. Obviously, the dates was from March from him inside of that meeting. Blurred out some of that information he did for sensitive purposes. So check out the next big part of what I'm about to tell you though. Not only people acting animalistic, but he said during the solar eclipse, they talked about in this meeting, people having seizures and collapsing is a potentiality during the solar eclipse. And I'm like, or it does sound more like it's biological. I showed you the last video, the FBI was going and they were basically saying like, oh, well, there might be something put in somebody's milk. And they were saying like they were doing biological drills in Colorado. So it gets even stranger from there. We're going to go deeper here into all of this scenario for you. What he said next to me was that only when communications go down, they all have to meet at a central location, and they want FEMA to take over and have law enforcement involved. Which my source, he said he don't trust FEMA at all, and I was like, yeah, I don't trust FEMA either. Now, this next part I gotta tell you is really wild, because like you go into thinking about all the predictive programming they showed us. This is what he said. He said more electrical companies, he went out and asked about this. He's seen the electrical companies, just like some of y'all said y'all seen. Their deadline is April 7th. They're upgrading. He said he talked to contractors. They're upgrading the black tarp, and they're putting wires and all these boxes in and stuff like that. Their deadline is April 7th. That lines up before this event perfectly. And another thing that's really important here that I'm about to tell you, that the martial law part. So when we get into the martial law part, you got to listen to this part, because they talk about going door to door, the vaccine and stuff like that, anti-vax people. But it's not just that. And obviously everybody on the list I mentioned, anti-vaccine, anti-government, prepper, Trump supporter. But when he went into this next part, he said, look, they're going to have some type of a dome that they're going to try to put over populations. Because he said they don't have to use force for martial law. This is what he said. So let's look at the notes I wrote down here. He said they're going to have to set up command centers, and then he said put domes over large populations over multiple areas. I was like, you talking about like a dome over them, like, a quarantine dome? He was like, yeah. I don't know if he's saying like multiple domes, but he's saying like the technology exists already. I already know it. I looked up multiple different times, and they've showed us in Simpsons predictive programming. They've showed us in a lot of predictive programming in movies that they put a dome for quarantine over a city. The stuff already exists. He said that's what inside this meeting they were freaking talking about. So that sounds like so wild. I know you're like, what? I mean, come on, I can't get behind that. But this is somebody who actually went there. In the beginning of the video, I showed you exactly what the meeting was. Also, I'm going to be talking about how hundreds of thousands of people, they're going to be biologically dispersed upon. This is the supposed scenario, which the military has been doing drills and all this stuff with CBRN, chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear. They're going to be in Oklahoma. Now check this out. In 2017, you know how we're talking about right now, biological scenario? They put bacteria on the solar eclipse balloons. So what is our potential area that these bacteria, the biological stuff could be coming from? Is definitely the balloons. And we found out information on our own to look into where will these balloons be released, and they have tracking technology on them as well. That's another thing he talked about with communications. He said during the communication, he said only during martial law will people not be able to communicate. They will have FEMA wanting to take over, and FEMA, he said, is dealing with all the training right now for law enforcement and everything else in the disaster scenarios. He said Starlink will be used for law enforcement, not for the public. So obviously Elon Musk is Starlinks, and he said they're going to be surveillance technology, and during the solar eclipse they're going to be looking down at you anyway, because they already have the balloons they're going to float. And we're going to talk about where they're releasing that, because now people asked me in the last video, hey, well, where's it going to be released? How can we prepare for this? I got you. For real, this is going to be like, if you can do the same thing you did in the last video, you can start sharing it out to family, start sharing it out to friends, because we're against an evil, corrupt empire. And the only way we can basically avert the situation is if we get this information out and we continue to expand upon what we did. I mean, this is what I came to do. This is what the mission is. The statement is against
And we all know you can't stop the will of this, man. I mean, if this happens, if this, we'll see. We shall see. You get what I'm saying? We keep hearing about April 8th being a crazy time, but like I said, hey, we'll see. Because we don't know Yahweh Shem Rashad timing, but we do know to look forward, these prophecies. Look forward chaos and destruction, and we can see all that uproars of the people. And so a lot of that is already it's going on. So we know we're somewhere here towards the end of this thing, man. So it can pop off any day now. That's where we at. It can pop off any day. And the biggest thing is Revelations 13 and 16. See, they gotta bring that in.
The forces trying to weigh us down. Not only weigh us down, bring us down in the health system, bring down the spiritual system. But the information we have right now is so powerful when you get it out just like you did last time. So next informational piece here. So going into this after all of that I just said, the biological scenarios, we want to go into this right now and what you can do about this and where is it releasing. Check this article out right here where they say, don't panic if you see balloons hovering over America's 2 upcoming solar eclipses. It's a project. NASA is a part of this project, which they're the ones who released the bacteria last time. This time, April 8, 2024 solar eclipse, some balloons will live stream video from the stratosphere 100,000 feet up to NASA Eclipse website using Insta360 cameras, while others will monitor for changes in the atmosphere 115,000 feet. They're monitoring for changes in the atmosphere during the eclipse, obviously because of the effects of the eclipse, but also we don't know if they're going to release it again, release some bacterial, biological stuff from the balloons as well. This is right here, the Nationwide Eclipse Ballooning Project is where this is releasing. If you look on screen right now, we're going to tell you locations released. Maine, Plymouth State University, Goddard Flight Space Center. Where is that at though? You look on the screen right now and you can see exactly where that's at. Most of this is like right in the area where the eclipse is going to be going, just like I told you already. So check this out. How can you prepare? How can you prepare and avert the biological scenario? Because people acting animalistic is just freaking wild. I told you they was talking about the zombie deer disease jumping to humans, Ebola. They're going to be tracking cell phones. And this is their intel on biological attack on the solar eclipse, right? They're not telling you who's going to do it. So they want to lock you in homes with a freaking dome. And these students here don't freaking know what they're getting themselves into. So like when you look at this and you see these students, this is all the balloons, this is the project, this is everywhere the balloons are going to be released. You now have insight on that. That was the 2017 eclipse, but you take that and then you flip it the other way, the way it's going now. And they then release it into the atmosphere. There's one thing we know of though that averts biological scenarios. So if you have somebody going out there and a lot of you say, hey, I'm just not going to do that, they're shutting down government buildings. They're shutting down schools.
Yeah, man. Beautiful times we're coming into. Whew, beautiful times. Lord willing. Like I said, man, hey, we'll see. That's all I can say. Hey, Shalom, Brother Damawathia, GMS in his likeness. Damawathia, you brothers, sisters can subscribe to this brother channel, does edifying videos. Also, I fellowship with him in Orlando. But he's a part of the GMS Orlando camp. But anyway, as you see, man, hey, people are going to be acting animalistic. We'll see, and a lot of that might have to do with the 2020, the jump shot. Maybe we come into a time where that stuff they can do something to cause that stuff to have a reaction. 1 Thessalonians 5, starting at verse 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Right? Hey, when this happens, man, whatever happens of the will of Yahweh Shem Shah, whatever you use to get this thing started, it's gonna catch 2/3 and a lot of these other heathen by surprise, man. It's gonna catch them as a thief in the night. They're not gonna be expecting it because they're not watching. You know, they don't even understand prophecy. They can understand that tomorrow says it's gonna rain, right? But they don't see what's going on. They're not looking. They're not seeking. Verse 3 says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destructions come upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." Right. And that's all, you know, these devils keep lying. You know, everything is good. They got these borders open. Everybody's good. Everybody's going to get fair opportunity. Bull crap, man. They have an agenda. And they're going to get it done through the spirit of Yahweh Shah, because he putting in their spirits to get it done. You know what I'm saying? We're at the end of this thing, and Lord willing, you know, we know that this year got coined by Apostle Tahar. That this Lord willing, this is the hopeful year of, you know, the start of Jacob's trouble, because they got an agenda, and they gotta, you know, bring in what they've been rehearsing all this time. They want to lock this place down, man. And they can use uproars and all that of the people just to bring in their martial law, you know what I'm saying, troops on these in these cities. Also, they're pushing everybody together like sardines in a can, right? What do you think that's going to cause? Disease spreading and all that sickness. Remember, they passed that rule in New York 2.1, Rule 2.13. They need all this stuff to take off and pop off, man. And that's not even including the 2020. We don't even know what the effects of that stuff is going to do to the people that took it. The jump shot, the dragon breath. So these are the things that we're looking forward to, you know, because a lot of people, listen, man, thus said the Lord, a lot of people about to die, man. Verse 4, "But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief." Right. So we're not in darkness, man. We're watching, you know, because we're not ignorant of Satan's device, man. We're not ignorant of his devices at all, man. You know, like I said, hey, we'll see. We'll see. They've been talking about this April 8th thing, hey, for a minute. You know, now they're saying, hey, people are going to act animalistic. We'll see. That means they could have some type of biological weapon that, you know, activate during that time, and these people just start bugging out. Because he said also in the video, he said people were going to be, they're expecting people to have seizures, pass out, foaming out the mouth. So, we'll see. 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." Right. And Lord willing, we'll see April 8th, April 7th. As he said in the video, or afterwards, he said, because, you know, look for signs afterwards of people acting different. And man, when I first watched the video, I'm not even gonna lie, man, I thought about it was on the old GMS testimonial page. This was probably like a year and a half ago, and I went back and tried to find that video, but I can't find it because I guess the original channel got taken down. But it put me in the mind of the dream that one of the elder brothers had. He had a dream that he was in a bar with some brothers, and he said out of nowhere, you know, he said the people just start like transforming into like zombies. Those that took the juice shot, they transformed right away, and then the ones that didn't, it transformed like it took like three to 5 minutes. I remember that video like it was yesterday. So hey, Lord willing, there's gonna be some crazy judgments, you know, here to come in the days that we're living in, man. And that's Yahweh Shah visiting the earth, because he does all this for his namesakes. They still around calling on JC, man. They calling on Yahshua, you know, Yahuda, all these different false names. They won't repent. They won't stop their wicked ways, man. So he's gonna Yahweh Shah gonna make his name known on the earth, and he's gonna show you who his name's been with the whole time, starting with the GMS elders and apostles and the brothers on down in the Philly camps, man, that believe in that name. It says, "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shall thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, the end is manifest. Right. So the end, hey, we're here, man. We'll see. Like I said, hey, Shalom, bro. Shalom, brother Azaria, MS in the Truth Orlando. Shalom, Yarbashim, Shah Barakatah, you brothers sisters. Subscribe to his channel. It's very edifying videos. This big bro out of Orlando camp. But yeah, hey, we'll see, man. That's all I can say. You know, we don't know the time, but Lord willing, we start seeing something major happen because these people, they don't understand, man. They in for a rude awakening, especially those people that took that, man. They in for a rude awakening. So, hey, stay prayed up, pray over your household. Pray, hey, listen, pray before you leave your house, man. Pray before you leave your house. Repent, because these people are gonna start. Hey, they're gonna start acting crazy, and we do know, blood moons. Because I was looking into some stuff like blood moons and these solar eclipses, man. People start acting weird. They just start acting weird, man. So these people got demons on them. Especially those that in the world, man. Hey, these people got demons on them, man. So stay prayed up. So Lord willing, this is edifying to you, brothers and sisters, man. I pray that this was edifying video. You can go look up that brother channel. Like I said, I like watching this channel because pretty much he plugged in. He get a lot of information passed down. So he pretty much plugged in. And his channel has been growing crazy. But he brings out some good information. So matter of fact, I flashed the brothers that dude's channel up here again. But brothers, sisters, if you want to subscribe to his channel, you can subscribe to his channel. But JWTV, he does a lot of videos, he's an insider telling you what's going on. So we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. But Lord willing, is edifying. May the blessing let you be upon your households.